Hello, everybody. Welcome into another episode of the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. I am your host, your purveyor of all things dorky within the scope of professional wrestling and sports entertainment. I am Grump. I put multiple breaths in there because I wanted to see what it would sound like. But we're doing good stuff here. We got look, hey, Dorkside TV, Dorkside.tv. That's right. We got a link tree and everything. So no longer do I have to direct you to Anchor to direct you to all the other places that we're at. I can just go to the link tree and it sends you all the places you can be at. So yeah, that's good. Hey everybody, welcome in episode 59. I'm bad at this. I really need to put this. All right, so let me tell you something right now, right? So it's 59, okay? Episode 59. If you're listening to this on YouTube, awesome. Obviously, this is coming out on YouTube at some time later when it actually comes out, because there's no way I'm going to have 59 episodes rendered and uploaded to YouTube in this amount of time. But hey, hi, thanks for liking and subscribing. Don't forget to do that. Dork Side of the Ring on YouTube. We're there. I have not posted anything just yet because I haven't gotten around to it. But we're gonna work on. I'm working on getting that stuff up. Shout out Lady Outlier who does the art for the logo. I got Lady Outlier doing art for the thumbnails that I might also use for some merchandising and stuff. So shout out Lady Outlier. Appreciate all go commission if she's. I don't know if she's doing commissions for people. She's not. She's just doing for friends right now. But support the artwork and whatnot because, then it supports me. But I can also support my friend. And you're supporting my friend. So that's great. But yeah, episode 59. We're on the YouTube. I'm working on that. I am slowly but surely getting these episodes out. I figured out. So I think it was about 2 or 3 months ago I said I was working on an idea on how to get these episodes in a place where I can put them on YouTube and you can watch them. And I was going to go so far as have footage and everything of what we were talking about. But that's just a lot of extra work. But also dealing with copyrights is not great. So what I did instead, I got this looping background to be in place so that you can go and be a part of the it's something that's there, right? And if you're a YouTube watcher, it's not much, but it's something that's there. Also, this way, when I do have video footage, cameras of us actually talking, we'll be able to actually see us talking and actually see us doing good. So yeah. That's that. What else do we have? I don't know what else we got going on. Dorkside.tv, Grum.tv now goes to Linktree as well. I don't know. I don't really have too much. Wrestling hasn't changed. It's slowed down. It's stopped changing. I mean, I feel like every week I was talking about how something with wrestling has changed. But that's not the case. Wrestling is still good. Still entertaining stuff. We got Clash at the Castle at the end of the month, and then we also have All Out coming up. So it'll be fun to watch the build to those two big events. I don't really have too much. I'm working on writing some stuff. I'm working on videos and stuff, content. Oh, we got the survey. If you go to the Discord, which the link is now discord.grum.tv, because now the Grum.tv takes you to the link tree that has everything. But discord.grum.tv takes you to the Discord. I'm doing a survey. It's last week. If you would like to fill out the survey, be a part of it, help me figure out where I'm going with some of the content ideas I have and whatnot. Appreciate that. That there is something in it for you. You may or may not win some money. Who knows? But the thing that I just with content, I don't know, man. Normally I'm good with. I got a lot on my mind in terms of content. I should say, nothing horrible life stuff, but I have a lot of ideas that I want to do, and I'm doing a lot of things. Patreon is a big part of it. I'm streaming sometimes and whatnot on multiple platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, not Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, and with Discord itself. So a lot of those places. I think the more important thing, I don't know, it's just weird. It is just ultimately weird, because this time last year I was kind of just meh about content. Like Dorkside had just started up. This time last year we were a month and some change into Dorkside, and it's been a year since that. And like seeing how much, because of the podcast, because of you guys listening it, because of my guests, my friends who come on and support, it is giving me a new path for the content that I like to do, to figure out how to do stuff without burning me out. I think a lot of times burnout is an issue for creators, and they just don't know how to deal with it, or they're afraid to. It really is afraid to deal with it, because if you deal with it, it normally means taking time off, and if you take time off, that means you're not making money, and God help you if you're not making money as a full-time creator, because then you're just wasting your time, and then you have to accept that you got to find a different job, or you got to do something different. But yeah, it's a rough go being a part-time, full-time creator, basically self-employed, but also the amount of work you got to go into it. Easy to get burnout, and it's better to deal with the burnout sooner than it is to just let it consume you, and then all of a sudden you're done forever, or you're done for a good while. But yeah, that's it. I didn't even say what we got going on this week. This week we've got the Kane and Shane McMahon feud that culminated at Survivor Series 2003 in an ambulance match. Myself, Biomart, and TheDorkyOwl watching it. I also showed them the three big angles that leading up to this match, which include Kane going into a dumpster fire, Kane electrocuting Shane McMahon's testicles, and Shane trapping Kane in a limousine, and then sending the limousine into the underside of a trailer, of a tractor trailer, and then leading to the ambulance match. So it's a fun one, and whatnot. We have a good time talking about that, and just smelly people, anime convention versus wrestling stuff, and yeah, it's a good time, fun having Biomart and Dorky on, two good friends of mine. Glad I was able to get them on before they go back to school for edumacations. Good on them, proud of them, doing some good stuff. They're going to change the world. Them youngins. The youngins are going to change the world, but first they're going to be on the dark side of the ring. So I say I got them first. So it's myself, Biomart, and the TheDorkyOwl talking about Kane versus Shane McMahon in 2003. It's a good time here on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. We definitely shouldn't be churning out episodes with blackface in it.
Yeah.
Graham,
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you were like, yeah, there was a KKK episode and he fought again.
There was one time where the number one contender for the championship chased quote unquote illegal immigrants back over the Mexican border.
Oh God,
that's pretty good.
In 2004,
wow.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
That person then ended up winning the Great American Award.
They need to get Trump into wrestling.
You know what's funny?
He was.
What?
I literally just edited, and it'll go up for next week, so the August 1st. Donald Trump versus Vince McMahon in the Battle of the Billionaires.
Haven't seen those clips?
No.
Seen those clips, Dorky? Oh my God, they're incredible.
Dorky, it is funny you said that, because I literally just edited it. I put it on my computer. I'm gonna upload it to the Patreon and whatnot after this. Like, Trump was involved, and he was the good guy in the feud, because it was 2007. So like, we're just like, the Donald, yeah, the hair, apprentice, yeah, and like, there wasn't, everything else that we knew, would come to find out 10 years later. But I mean, they were all there. Also, like, we watched it. there is Miss Teen USA, Miss USA, and Miss Universe all there cheering him on, and like
God.
me, Jim Jam, and Duff Guy Pat, who watched it with me, we're like, what are the odds? And we're like, very high. Very like didn't need to answer the question because we knew where the question was going. It was just like, it's just wild. Like,
need to bring the champ back.
Look, they would have liked to. Look, Vince McMahon out. He was doing some not so great things. I mean evergreen, but like recently he was found. They basically found like $16 million missing from the company, and then also happened to be he was being alleged at the very same time to have some inappropriate affairs that involved coercing and NDA and hush money. That just so happened.
Just normal billionaire shit, honestly. That's
yeah.
like not out of the ordinary.
Correct.
You're gonna have to say a lot more to like surprise me.
I know, right? It's not. It's like, here's the thing. This is a man who was directly involved with the murder of one of his talents, covered up one of his talents murdering a woman, copious amounts of drug induced stuff, and also just multiple cases, multiple allegations of rape and sexual misconduct before 2022. Like,
is he on the flight logs?
He should be.
Express?
He should be. Hey, look, I often say Vince McMahon scares God. God is afraid of Vince McMahon, and the devil owes Vince McMahon rent, because I can't think of anybody who's just more like evil that didn't commit multiple war crimes. Like, it's wild. Like, I said that one time. They're like, "Why'd you say multiple?" I'm like, I'm sure he did one or two, or like one. Like, there's got to be a war crime.
Oh, fucking yeah! I looked it up. Linda McMahon, his wife, is on the Epstein flight logs.
Yep.
So,
oh.
Yeah.
I'll just assume he was there too.
He probably he probably was. Although, I wonder, like, does it have a date for when she was on the flight logs, or is she just that she's on the flight logs? And I wonder.
I think she still regularly visits the island, probably.
Yeah, well, because Linda became the Secretary of Small Businesses under Trump after after 3 failed like Senate races to become senator of like Connecticut. It's like, I understand Connecticut has a lot of rich people, but it also is.
The problem is every time I look up fucking McMahon flight logs, the only thing that comes up is the plane ride from hell.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably that's gonna come up, and the problem is
cover up.
There's there's multiples of the plane.
There's too many crimes happening on planes.
I mean, look, I can't think of a better place. There's like boat crimes. You got to get back to shore, right? Like, you might be on the boat for a little bit, you commit a crime, on a cruise. Well, you gotta keep low for a couple more days before you get back to land. But a plane, like, you're on a plane.
Once you get in a certain tax bracket, they just hand out planes,
Exactly. Everybody's got a plane.
I think that's true, yeah.
Not everybody gets a boat. Only the super rich get a boat. And then they get it seized because they're actually a part of, a bad government. But yeah, that's one of the more interesting ways to start a Dork Side of the Ring. We're here. It's a fun episode on deck. We were talking a little bit before I hit record about Muhammad Hassan, and that's how we got to the topic that we got to. We are here on the Dork Side of the Ring with my two friends, Biomart. Welcome back.
Yo.
And the TheDorkyOwl. Dorky, hello.
Hello.
Welcome. Glad to have you guys. Welcome back. How we doing? How we living?
It's hot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a heater outside.
It's a hit one. Yeah. We had like rain for an hour or two the last couple days, and I'm like, thank God, but also it gets worse because it's like now it's that the humidity is coming from the ground up because all the rain didn't get absorbed by the dry ass ground and is now getting dried by the intense heat. Not fun.
Oh my God, humidity! I went to take my DMV picture because there's like real IDs you have to get now or whatever.
Yeah.
and I had my hair straightened. I went outside to wait in line, and like 10 minutes, my hair had poofed up.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't have that anymore. I cut my hair. Otherwise, it was bad like that. Where I'm like, wow, my hair's all frizzy. What about you, Bio? You having hair problems?
I'm learning how to manage it. I still haven't like actually cut it for probably over a year, about a year and a half. So we're getting there.
Yeah, no, I remember. It's a first time with the long hair.
Yeah. I'm because I shaved it all at the start of the pandemic. So.
And you've been okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's called It's a 10. It's like a leave-in conditioner. Does wonders for your hair.
I can't do that. That's gonna fuck up my scalp.
No, it's not. No, look, my scalp. No, it's
10
not.
in 1? Wait.
No, not 10 in 1. It's a 10 it's called, the company is, or the product is called It's a 10. Not 10 in 1.
My hair
Absolutely.
is just to not. I just don't shampoo for like 3 weeks. Just conditioner, and every once in a while I shampoo.
I would go. See, mine was shampoo every other day, like because I worked outside, so it's like shampoo, and then the second day, was no shampoo, but like I would like clean it out and everything. This way, you get the nice natural oils that make your hair not to smell like pennies.
I got plenty of natural oils. Believe me, I'm flush with oils right now.
Hey, but careful. But there's an oil crisis. We'll come squeeze it out of your hair. It's the most sustainable energy is just squeezing out. And you know what? That's what we should do. We should turn to a society that everybody that can grows out their long hair and squeezes out for oils and grease, and then we never have to worry about
We should revert back to whale oil. I think these damn whales have had it too good for too long. Start burning their fat.
Yeah. Bring them back. We got to control. I don't know. I don't want to wage war against the sea.
That seems dangerous. That seems like you're like inciting some ancestors from deep below or something.
That's how Aquaman comes up and starts fucking up everybody. Yeah. Like, hey, I've been hearing you went back. I thought we had an agreement. And you're like, what? Who are you? You're not Jason Momoa. But Biomart. You want to tell the people a little bit about yourself once again, since it's your second time on?
I don't know.
No, I mean you don't have to.
I don't even remember. Well, last time I was on, it was
almost a year ago.
Exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just starting my first semester of law school. Yeah, and now I'm starting my third semester. So.
Yeah.
Been a year. Learned about 1/3 of the laws that I have to learn.
When do you graduate, Bio?
2024, I believe.
Nice.
Oh, that'll be fucking fun. It's election season, baby. Yeah. No, what's been really cool is that like I took my con law class, and then immediately after I got like an A- in con law or whatever, all of what I learned became completely irrelevant and not useful. So that's probably a sign of a good system that's functioning.
If there's one thing that I know functions as intended, it is the justice system. Nothing out of the question.
Unironically, yes, it functions as intended. You're absolutely correct. It literally does.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah, but I'm studying for public defense and all that, so I've been doing that this summer. That's what I'm moving into.
Fighting the good fight. That's good to hear. Glad to hear the good stuff. Glad I know some people. Your episode, the end of our episode, because Nora had to leave midway through, and like the last half hour or so is just us just going off about the shit state of the world a year ago.
I think I literally predicted that Roe would be overturned within the year.
You know what? I'm going to go back and listen.
A year ago.
Yeah.
I think because I do remember like being angry about Ginsburg, and I think I did say that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we were very much because oh my god, it's been like it's been a year since the Ruth Conda tweet, hasn't it? Wow.
Ruth Conda forever. Oh my god, you're so right. Yeah. No, what I've been uncovering recently is a bunch of Kamala videos of her saying that she's running for senator of Wakanda. and like saying Wakanda forever and shit.
I saw her saying that.
I can't believe I hadn't seen those before. Like I'm deep into the like rare like shitty politician videos.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I've got some rare Trumps on my phone, but like I hadn't seen any of those, and they're great.
It's like it's just. I mean, like I'm not. I think I saw one of them. And I was like, is this a deep fake? This is a deep fake. This can't be real. And like...
Well, the one that just came... Fucking Biden saying shit about the insurrection just came out, and he doesn't blink for like literally 45 seconds. I'm not joking. Like,
no, he doesn't.
Today.
I noticed...
It looks like a deep fake. And people are saying online that he had a facelift. I don't know if I necessarily believe that.
I mean, I
think they probably replaced him with a clone or robot of some kind.
Yeah. I mean... I don't know, man. This whole like we said last time, it's gonna get worse. So still,
it's gonna get weirder.
It's definitely getting weirder.
When are we gonna get VTuber presidents?
Oh boy.
I think we already have one.
I got a Joe Biden VTube, $600 for the license to it. First take.
Thanks for the subs, fat.
And do you want to plug the social media or no? It's up to you. You don't have to buy it.
Oh, Biomart _ on Twitter. That's all I basically use.
There we go.
I tweet too much.
You tweet too. I tweet too much. If you tweet too much, I absolutely.
I think everyone's out here tweeting a little too much.
That's probably we're on the internet a little too much. Dorky, speaking of being on the internet, Dorky, welcome back. It's been a year since you've been on.
Yeah, it has basically been.
Last time
did we do like November though? I think.
No, it was September. We did it's like episode I want to say 13, but it was the Viagra on the pole match.
Yeah.
You know, so a little I showed Biomart the blow off to a match that involved a man feeding, you know, getting enacting revenge for being fed his own dog, and I showed you two guys fighting over Viagra. So
yeah.
I am wondering if we can meld the two concepts somehow.
Fed the dog Viagra?
The dog Viagra, perhaps.
Maybe, who knows? That's definitely not what we're going to be talking about today on this episode. But
you would have loved that bio. In our episode, we talked about putting insulin on the pole and having people with medical conditions fight.
Talking about this dystopian world we're careening towards. Dorky, and Johnner came up with a COVID vaccine on a pole match, but the object, which, you know, why would you put two people who don't want to get it? But to win, you have to inject it into your opponent, and if you win, you don't have to get it.
Yeah.
And then they have a heart attack immediately.
Shit.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. What else? Deodorant on a pole match. You have to apply it to your opponent. A lot of, like, you know, things that are just should be standard hygiene and general societal practices became things on a pole match. Brushing your teeth.
One cure to cancer. You have to save your family. The other person saves theirs.
Yeah. That one's definitely very, like, death racy. Of, like, you know, hey, you fight for the cure. Fight to the death. But yeah, Dorky, you want to reintroduce yourself to the people and whatnot?
I'm who the show is named after.
No, but go on.
I'm not really doing much. Just chilling. Going back to college in a bit.
Yeah.
I will graduate fall of next year.
Oh, wow. You're out here putting in work.
It was all my high school work. They took all my high school credits.
Lucky dog. If they would have done that for me, maybe I wouldn't have dropped out. Or failed out. Is more appropriate. But
you can say you dropped out. You're just like Zuckerberg.
I mean, yeah, but also, like, you know, I don't know. I've talked about it before. Anyways, so all right. So next fall, I'm gonna put that in the calendar now. That next winter to get you on for a celebration episode, and then we get one for Biomart in 2024. Are you doing? Is it fall 2024 or spring?
For me to put
spring.
on spring. Okay, all right, good, all right. Maybe we'll do maybe I'll get you back both on again, and then we'll just do like a little celebration for both. Shared birthday parties.
We got to make predictions for 2024 though. I mean, I
don't know.
Trump
Look,
takes it, baby.
I mean, with monkeypox coming out, I think we're just gonna be zombies. I think zombies are gonna make it come out.
I think we're gonna turn into apes.
I'm
scared.
They literally just announced today WrestleMania in Philadelphia 2024. I just please, world, April 8th. That's when everything can go to hell. But let me get through April 6th and 7th. I don't care if the clock strikes midnight and it turns to the 8th and the meteor hits. I want wrestling. If that means I gotta die watching wrestling, god damn it, I'm gonna die watching wrestling. I'm gonna do it. Some people will die in the ring like Ric Flair. I will die outside of the ring watching. So yeah. Yeah, jeez, man. 2024. Why is it so fast? It's so close. It's 18 months. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Time is a man-made construct. Dorky, since your last appearance, have you partaked in any more wrestling content?
No, I don't think I've seen a single wrestling thing since the last time I've been here.
Okay, all right. So still the Viagra on the pole is the first thing that you really watched. Okay, yep, that's good. What about you, Bio? Any more wrestling content as you peruse the internet?
I don't think so. I just saw clips of the Muhammad Hassan thing, and then obviously the Trump ones that I've like saved on my phone. But...
Okay. All right. So good to see
that I save on my phone and watch every night.
Look,
before bed.
Watching Trump tackle Vince McMahon and then just punch him with the weakest punches that he legitimately had to throw is quite possibly the funniest thing. Those are actually his real punches. Like, he's not trying to pull them. That's how he punches.
By told him go full strength.
So the way the story goes, one of the guys, like backstage guys, is like talking to Trump, and he's a guy from Texas, and he's like, "Mr. Trump, what you gotta do is you gotta like swing your arm, but then also with your shoulder, so that you can pull it, but it looks like you hit the person. All right, try it on me." And like he throws the punch, and it doesn't come anywhere near. He's like, "All right, let's try it this way." So he like switches up like how you can do it, because there's multiple ways you can throw a punch in pro wrestling, and make it not connect but look good. Trump failed everything, and they're like maybe an hour and a half from like the doors opening up, and they've got other things to like go through. And Vince McMahon goes, "Don't worry, Donald. Just when we get out there, throw the punches. Hit me. I don't care. Tackle me and just start throwing punches." And so in the match, he tackles him and he throws punches, and he just keeps connecting. But they just look so weak. But because Vince McMahon is unhinged and very good at, acting as if he's in constant pain because he's not human and doesn't feel pain, he's like screaming at the top of his lungs as if these punches are the most painful things he's ever felt. And it is the funniest thing. But knowing that Donald Trump is legitimately throwing those punches and they look that bad, I can definitely take Donald Trump in a fight. I don't but I know he's never been in a fight, so I go back to when he's like in his physical prime.
Whoa, that's not true.
You say he's been in a fight?
He wrestled that dude in the Secret Service van.
Yeah, he tried to get to
He tried to choke slam him.
That's true.
Tried to do what they do in the movies.
Well, it's we do have an incident involving a limousine on today's topic, so we'll get to that in a bit. But question, kind of going with our topic today. How handy are you with cars? Are you
not at all?
I was gonna say, are you I know how to fill my windshield wiper fluid, and that's it. Everything else I need somebody to pay for. Or
I see something in my car and I tell my dad.
My girlfriend's great aunt had a dead battery in her car, and I helped her jump it, and it was probably the most masculine I've ever felt.
I've changed my battery. It's probably the most involved thing I've ever done. my battery died. Went to go get a new one. My mom had to help me with it because she's handy with the car, and she, because her dad was like, "Yeah, no, you're not gonna get stuck on the middle of the road and call for help. That's how you end up kidnapped." And she's like, "Okay, whatever." Like, cool. I know how to change a tire and whatnot.
I know the theory of changing a tire, and I think I could do it if need be, but I don't think I have the tools in my car.
You have jumper cables in your car?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good. Always have listeners, if you can hear my voice.
I also don't drive full time, so most of the time I'm either in the house or going somewhere with my family, so they're driving.
Well, this is good advice. Always have jumper cables, always have a spare tire, and always have a bag for trash. Just
makes sense.
You just
because
you never.
Blanket.
I mean, you should probably. Well. Yeah, you should probably have a blanket too. So that's 4 things you should always
snacks.
have. And snacks. Probably gas. You should have gas in your car. That reminds me. Tomorrow I have to call to get my car inspected because it's due. Always also make sure your car is inspected because it's important that your car does not break down. And if you can afford it, though. But if you can't afford it, then that's a bigger problem than not having, your car inspected. But yeah, okay, all right. So we're all the 3 of us not very versed in working with cars. That's good, but we've got experience with a car battery. Did you accidentally shock yourself?
I have a mechanical engineering degree. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, you should know cars.
Like, not really. In theory, I know how a car
theory.
works. Yeah.
You're one of them theoretical engineers. Gotcha.
Yeah, sure.
Gotcha.
Theoretically, I can engineer some things.
There you go.
Bio builds tables. That's pretty much like a car.
Built tables. Yeah.
He built a bridge to my heart too. I was like, I'm not gonna like this Biomart guy, and he done did it. He did it through memes and general good personness. So you are I'll vouch for you.
Okay.
And yeah, my word goes very far. Yeah, my word goes very far. They'll get you that and $5.
Get you through the gates of heaven. Trust me.
That and $5 will get you a gallon of gas. So, depending on where you're at. But yeah, did you shock yourself when you were, jumping the battery there, Bio?
No, I would say I did a pretty good job. I think.
Okay, that's good.
True man, alpha male.
I was a man. I was a top 2.
Okay. Well, the reason I bring that up, one of our topic today involves people using batteries and whatnot, but it also involves garbage fires, which we are American. We know what that looks like every time we look at ongoings in our country. But have you ever attended a bonfire, like this typical? Youths having a
That's
hang.
Fucking American pastime, just watching shit be on fire. It's great.
Yeah. Dorky?
I think my church, my grandma's church, would do like this, like in the woods camping thing. It was like, but we had cabins, and there was I think there was a fire that we did marshmallows over, but it's been so long.
Good old. You like them? How burnt do you want them?
I burn mine and then burn it and then peel the skin. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I eat it with the skin thing over, but yeah.
Bio, how do you like your marshmallows?
I go back and forth on it. If I burn it, it's because I wanted to, and it was on purpose.
Yeah, I may have, as a child, eaten one that was on fire still, and that put me off of burnt marshmallows for a little bit.
Honestly,
yeah, I have eternal fire inside of me, in eternal and internal fire.
But I get that because top of the mouth root burns are the worst.
The worst. It's just like that and hot soup. Hot soup is you'll never trust soup again, but then you'll have it like the very next spoonful, and you're like, all right, like I can't be mad at you. You're too delicious. Next time I'll just blow to cool you down, be like, and that's it. That'll be fine. And then it's never fine because you just want the soup. You want the soup.
Soup goes from like boiling hot to like tepid and like super fast.
Depends on the bowl. You need a better bowl.
What kind of bowl are you using?
I took some heat transfer classes. You want a narrow mouth on the bowl there.
Narrow mouth. Okay.
But what do you mean a narrow, like a vase?
Yeah, kind of. You don't want one of those that's like super shallow and with like a wide.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So okay, I see. All right, I'm understanding it now.
You don't want a dish.
Yeah, you want like a bowl.
A bowl.
Yeah.
You want a bowl.
Maybe even a cup. You put them in a cup. Well, you get noodle in a cup.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Holy shit.
A thermos.
Thermos. I miss that cliche of my television show watching, which is cold, people in the cold on a stakeout drinking soup. And then
I've never seen that happen in my life.
Exactly. That's the problem.
I've always wanted to do it.
Like, it's just you have the soup, and then the cliche goes the step further when the other partner or whoever else is like has their thermos. And I'm like, what do you like, hey, can I have some of your soup? And they're like, yeah, sure. They're not paying attention, and they sip. And like, you're drinking vodka. You're drunk, and they're like, shh, they're coming out. It's like, what the fuck? You're drinking vodka. You should be having soup.
On the dang job.
On that dang job. But yeah, no, I've had soup out of a thermos. It's pretty good. Stayed hot. Also burned my mouth. Top of my mouth has been through a lot. Captain Crunch, man.
It's so scratchy. I don't
even
even like it that much.
I love it. It's like me, like Mick Foley, the wrestler, loves thumbtacks. I love Captain Crunch. Bad for my mouth. It's probably bad for my body. But they taste so good. And the danger also like you gotta have the danger. If you don't have the danger of it, then what's the point of it? It's not worth it to me.
Well, I eat my cereal dry, so Captain Crunch is all danger.
I too eat my cereal. I don't like milk in my cereal. I just feel like it's a waste of milk.
Because you like milk?
I did that much milk.
I did as a kid. I don't even eat cereal that like in the morning. I'll have like a bagel and an apple now. But like when I was a kid, like I think it was also the fact that if I put milk in it, I had to eat it at the kitchen table. So like I couldn't watch TV. But if I had it in a bowl with no milk, then I could watch TV as a kid. So like Saturday mornings, like I turn on Fox Kids and like watch Spider-Man with like a bowl of like Kix or Life cereal, which get bad like Kix gets a bad rap, but Kix cereal's delicious. All right, I won't stand for slander. I hope neither of you slander Kix.
I don't even know what that is.
I would never even dream of it.
What? Like I understand. You know what? I gotta remember. I'm old.
I've seen these. I've never had them.
They're good. Look, Mikey likes the commercial. There's a commercial for Kix where they go to a courtroom. It is like kids versus like Kix cereal. And like it is. That's not what I want. I don't want the commercial. I don't want the actual court case. There's apparently a court case for General Mills versus Kellogg's. But like, they called it kid tested, mother approved, and like. They go into this like court case, and it's like one of like the longer commercials as you're watching that like happen between the cartoons, like not the ones in between like in the middle of a cartoon, but like at the end of one and before the other one, and it's like Kix cereal's not good for kids, and then there's like they go to this kid Mikey, and he is notorious for not liking things, but he likes Kix, so they can't be that bad. And then the judge rules in favor of Kix cereal.
fuck?
Yeah, no, it's a look.
It's way too damn complicated.
I miss those days.
Just tell me what to buy.
Just you goddamn algorithm, you children of the algorithm. Back in my day,
feed me.
If it's not 30 seconds or less, I don't want it.
Back in my day, I had to sit through commercials for things I definitely didn't want.
I scroll past TikToks that feel like they're gonna be long.
Yeah.
Look. Okay, I hate TikToks that are longer than like the max length of a Twitter video. So if it's like 2.5 minutes, it's too long of a TikTok.
I have to put my phone down and like listen to it like it's a podcast. Because if I watch it like it's a TikTok, I can't. But if I like put it down and do something else, I can handle it.
I can't. Like I'm not on TikTok, right? So like my TikTok exposure comes from my girlfriend. She's like, I have TikToks to show you. I'm like, okay. And like she got like an 87% approval rating for me. That's pretty good. A lot of them, it's gone down a little bit because I think her algorithm's a little hooked on awkward first date parody things, and they're not funny. Like they're not.
No,
but,
yeah. I mean,
like,
my algorithm is the worst content imaginable, and that's what I consume.
Yeah, I like. You know, sometimes like she's got like a couple that are like, you know who like it's Queef. Oh no, Wiz Khalifa? Wiz Khalifa, I think is her name. She's not Wiz Khalifa. No. I think it's it's Queef Khalifa. She is a deranged TikTok user of many. She's got like, you give her a sound, she's got 4 ideas for every sound. It's ridiculous. They're all like, you know, on the more sexual side, but good. She's deranged. Also, she apparently does like queef TikToks, and like that's like her name wasn't just a joke. And I don't understand TikTok enough to understand how that's like it's just weird.
TikTok is lax on its rules depending on the situation.
Like it's like sometimes it's funny, but sometimes it's just like, what? Why do we do this? And then like some people's storytelling needs some work. This whole pink sauce lady, some of these storytellings about it, not good. I know, Dorky, me,
you've seen the pink sauce, right?
I've seen. Have you seen the pink sauce?
Everybody,
Bro?
yes. Everybody on TikTok tells stories in the exact same fucking way, and I'm so sick of it. Full of meme references and goddamn, it's just poor pacing.
Yeah, like they cut, right? Like I hate. It works on YouTube because maybe my brain is just used to it for the last 15 years of it, or like people cut out them just going like, okay, and then we get the next words out. But the TikTok, they're not quick enough. They're too quick with the cuts, right? So it's like it's immediately after, and I'm like, no one talks like this. Talk like a normal person. Do your TikTok like a normal person, and tell your
person who's like 3 minutes of telling you about their last week and how their job kept them. Like, this is not what I came here for. In the last 30 seconds of the actual story.
Yeah. Like,
I came here for absolute psychos burying their life story. That's what I really want.
One of my favorite ones was that my girlfriend showed me. It was a farmer, and she was telling this story about these 2 chickens, and she's like casually mentions that the one's name is Pink, and I'm like, what? Like, that's a weird name to name. Like, oh, like, okay, the other ones are probably also named after like colors. There's green, there's blue. No, she named Pink because she hit Pink with a baseball bat, and it went pink. That was the sound of its skull hitting.
What?
Right? But the story continues after that, and I'm like, no, you have to pause this. This lady named her chicken after the sound of a baseball bat hitting its skull. What the fuck? how is this chicken alive? And then the story continues. The chicken's not alive anymore. The chicken died because of this, but she named it posthumously Pink. And I'm like, why? Wait a second. And like, the story went so far in the other direction of being a bad story that I'm like, I need an entire like a docu-series about this woman and her 3 chickens. One of which is named Pink because it's the sound of a baseball bat hitting its skull. What the hell? That and like not the racist emu farmer chick, but the original emu farmer who is nice and also funny.
I like when random niche like micro celebrities get canceled for like crazy shit. Like the Star Wars puppet.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
Wait, is that
that explained Star Wars lore, and then he came out saying that the Disney homosexual agenda is like taking over Hollywood, and like everyone's like, and all the other Star Wars puppets were like, we disavow.
Wait, no more.
Homophobia.
It's funny.
It's like
that's ridiculous shit.
It's insane the amount, how quick somebody. It's literally the milkshake duck, right? But like, it's now to the point where it's even faster than it ever could have been. And it's concerning because it's like, does it get worse before we officially just go, you know what? No more internet. We gotta shut it down.
So there was one I saw, and it was like a response. It was this girl, and it was a response to a comment. So like she had told the story time or something, and this was like a response to the comment. And she was like, actually, you got a couple of the facts wrong. Let me help you. And she was like, me and my husband were married for a while. They had kids, whatever. They eventually started like swinging with the neighbors next door or something. And then that messed up their monogamy. So she cheated on him and had a kid with the person she cheated on him with, talked to the husband and told him, and he was fine with it. And they were going to raise the kid together. But then she didn't know that her husband was cheating on her with her mom. And they were like planning together to take the children away from her and raise them and run off together.
That's what I'm talking about. I want unstable psychos.
Yeah, like
I was like, why? And she was like, you can tell me that I'm a disgusting human being. I hate myself. And I was like, okay, you need to not be on the internet.
What the fuck? You see the other
you involuntarily like institutionalized 30% of all TikTok users, the world would be a better place. Doesn't even matter what 30%. Just take 3 and 10.
Yeah, but here's the thing. My instinct is now to put cameras and then make a reality show out of it. What happens when you make people who are addicted to TikTok unable to do TikToks? What happens to them? Like I don't know. Did you see?
Didn't they already try that to make a like on Netflix? They tried to make a Netflix show of TikTokers.
No, well, it was just like I think it was like just they marketed it as millennials out in the wilderness, but like nobody's over the age of 23. Like those aren't millennials. Like,
well, to a TV executive, it is.
You're right.
Anyone younger than them and who they don't like is a millennial at the time.
That's true. But yeah, no, I saw the preview for that and I wanted to watch it, just the one episode, to see how bad it gets. Because like the preview's like, you know, I think it's like they're all British, so like they're all like, I've never been. How do you? I don't know how to start a fire. I've never been camping. And it's like, what if a bear tries to have sex with me? It's like, wait, what? That's your concern? Not that the bear would eat you, but would try to have sex with you? Like, this show is not real. Like, it's 100% scripted. But, like, oh my God. How deranged we have become when it comes to Netflix reality shows. We have Love is Blind, which is sweet, but also kind of weird. Then you had The Ultimatum, which is like deranged. These couples who are like at the point of like one of them is like either propose to me or we're breaking up. All go into a house with a bunch of single people who are there to wreck their relationships. Like this is just ridiculous.
Someone told me to watch season 6 of Are You the One, and that was like probably one of the most toxic reality TV like seasons I've seen.
Like, man, like I miss the days of simple reality shows. You take 7 strangers, and you put them in a building, and what happens is the real life.
And you give them a knife.
And they fight, yeah.
What? Whoa, wait a second. No, I don't remember.
Only one person can leave.
I don't remember this.
That was my favorite.
No, but TikToks, they're not great. I remember, and I mean, the internet's always been bad, but TikTok has given everybody the quick and algorithmic, powered ability to share personal information that no one ever needed to hear. I remember a couple years ago, on Twitter, somebody shared a story, and they became the main character for a day. Right? Maybe even 2 days. We're like, yo, you remember the guy who told us about how his girlfriend is fucking his grandpa? And now he has an uncle who is from his girlfriend? She's pregnant? And everybody was, roasting him for, a day or two. Now, there are multiple main characters to the point that there are no main characters. It's just the internet.
Aren't supposed to know this many human beings.
Yeah, no.
No,
we aren't even supposed to know that this many human beings exist.
True. That is true. We need to go back to looking at the sky and thinking that our community is the only community in the world, and then being shocked, when there is another one. Although that does go back to that could be bad as well.
If I could live on fucking Sentinel Island, oh my god. I would have a fantastic time.
Yo, that tweet. I don't know if you guys saw that tweet. Did you guys see that tweet? It was you're among the first humans to land on Mars, and you go into a cave, and there's a skeleton with 4 words written on the wall. What are the worst 4 words you could see?
Pokemon go to the polls.
I like that episode.
So good. I've had this theory for a little bit of how fucked would we be as an entire species if we've achieved the ability to land and colonize Mars, only to find out that we actually were already on Mars and we fucked it up, and that's how it got to where it was already. Wow, there were 2 planets that had the ability of water, and we fucked both of them up. Go us. Go humans. We were just fucking everything up, and we are not. We don't need to go that far to be oh, humans are fucking everything up, but it's just, I don't know, it'd be a big kick in the dick to be yeah, we've figured out how to continue to be human species, and we're gonna right our wrongs, and then to find out we actually just repeated history again. Way to go, us. So that's just wild. It has nothing to do with the topic.
I can't even explore that hypothetical that far, because that would require me to have hope that we would even be able to.
I don't even think that would be a surprise. We'd be well, that makes sense.
It's over, son.
Yeah.
Nothing down that road.
Maybe we'll melt by 2024.
No, again,
can
we just make it to April 10th, 9th even. I'll take 9th. I don't need to go to the Raw after Mania, but I need the Mania in Philadelphia. I need it. I need it for my soul, and then the world can melt. I'll be alright with that. But yeah, so don't know how I'm gonna. Let me give me a second here so I can figure out. I'm gonna buy myself some time talking to figure out how I can segue that into our topic today. Oh yeah, human beings are terrible. So imagine if, for a moment, if 2 human beings hated each other so much that they literally attempted to maim, torture, and kill each other, and yet they were kind of not human also at the same time.
Is this enemies to lovers?
No, these are enemies to more enemies. Unfortunately. In the year 2003, the wrestler known as Kane, who is now the current mayor of Knox County in Tennessee.
What? In universe or what?
In real life. Real life.
Wait, what?
The real life mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, who is a former professional wrestler, goes by the name Kane. used to be his whole gimmick, his whole shtick was that he was a burn victim. His body was covered in burns, and he wore a mask, and he wore all this stuff, and he wrestled and everything, and he's just big 6'10", 7-foot guy. He's a monster. They called him the Big Red Machine, all this stuff. And in 2003, they ripped his mask off, and his mask was underneath his mask is this makeup on his face to make his face look like burned, except it wasn't actually burned. It was more just like mascara was running all over his face.
Oh, they did that Stranger Things makeup.
Yeah. And in the summer of 2003, he goes on this warpath where he's brutalizing people. They're like, why are you looking at my face? And then he would just beat the hell out of them. And he'd be coming out to the ring in cuffs. Like, he wouldn't be allowed to do anything but wrestle, which is wild, but also...
Oh, they turned him into a Hannibal Lecter guy.
Kind of, yeah. And he went as far as to pile drive Linda McMahon. Bringing her back up. Pile drive her on
Linda, love her.
Yeah. Pile drive her on the top of the rampway, which is like metal grates and whatnot. And the following week, Linda's son, Shane McMahon, wants revenge, and he's pissed, and he wants to whoop Kane's ass. And it starts a multi-month long feud of them just trying to kill themselves, which includes a last man standing match where the object is to beat your opponent so bad that they cannot answer a 10 count. And it got very extreme, and the amount of violence, if I were to pick every segment, and I could, we'd be here all day. That literally would just be the episode. All 2 hours would be watching the months of footage of them going at each other. But I picked the 3 most violent and escalating things in this feud for us to watch. And we're also going to watch their ambulance match at Survivor Series 2003. So we're going to watch that here on the Dork Side of the Ring, and we'll be right back.
Grum here with a little bit of a break in the action just to let you know about what we got going on the support.grum.tv Patreon. That's Grum's Patreon, my Patreon, patreon.com/Grum. All the links that you could ever need are at Grum.tv. But we got some good stuff going on. I'm adding some more. We got some more early episodes. Hey, look, you get every episode early. Every episode of the Dork Side of the Ring early. You get exclusive content like the watch along. Just went up, or just is going up this next coming week or two is going to be Vampiro and the Kiss Demon in the Graveyard match. That was with the Grapple Guys, Jim Jam Broads, and Aaron. Also, I was on their podcast, and I'm going to be on their podcast again. Sorry, I'm getting like a little hiccup, but I'm going to be on their podcast again this week, or well, I guess it was last week, the last 2 weeks. The Grapple Guys, check them out. But we got some good stuff on the support.grum.tv Patreon. Help us out there. Any financial contribution is appreciated. For as low as $1, you can become a patron and help do stuff. I'm adding more and more benefits to all of the tiers as well, so that's good. Thank you guys for all your support, and I appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, at DorksideRing. Follow us on follow us on YouTube. Yeah, if you're not watching this on YouTube, or if you are watching on YouTube, thanks, appreciate it. But like and subscribe. Hit the like button, subscribe, help us grow. That'd be great. The idea is to put more of like the shorter content on here and do some other wrestling content on Dork Side of the Ring. Leave 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. Appreciate that. 5 stars helps us grow. All the good stuff. So, thank you, and let's get back to the episode.
And we are back on the Dork Side of the Ring. Just incredible fun times. First impressions, Biomart. First impressions of the Kane and Shane O'Mac brouhaha.
God, I just hope these guys have workers' comp, because I feel like the amount of like permanent injury that you can sustain when like trying to do this is just, it's so much.
Yeah, it's not ballet, as they say. That's what they say. It's not ballet. I'm gonna get hurt. Dorky, what about you? First impressions?
I mean, I really liked seeing the rich get beat up. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's true. That's a good way to look at it. Shane
He
McMahon.
lost. Wait, each one we watched, he lost. No, he won the first one.
The first and the third one.
Threw him in the fire.
threw him in the fire.
Had no effect. He had like 2 bandages the next time he came back.
Yeah, and then he got his. So for those listening,
I don't know if he won the nipple or the
definitely
ball.
Definitely did not win that one. No,
yeah,
that one.
No, did win the car crash one. So showed Bio and Dorky the three high points of this feud, which are Shane McMahon fighting off Kane and putting Kane into a dumpster of fire that Kane had set him to throw Shane McMahon in. The infamous Shane McMahon's testicles are being electrocuted with a car battery by Kane, and then Shane McMahon getting revenge again by trapping Kane in a limousine and then making it go very fast into a tractor trailer to the point where, like, definitely nobody could be in there. But also, I don't know how you get anybody back in
convertible.
I don't know how you get, like. What's wild is, like, both of the testicle thing with the battery and the car accident. Like, I don't know how they did it. Right?
I think he got out the car. In the limo one, because they like look at.
Well, they cut. They cut to the other side for him to get out.
Yeah.
And I think while that was happening, he was gone.
Either that, or he just laid on the floor.
So I was gonna say
prayed.
I did not include the after that because it kind of like drowns on and doesn't. There's not much to it, but they get like the jaws of life and they cut open the car and he is in there, like his body is in there. So. Like, it is one of these things of, like, I don't know how they got his body in there. So that tells me they did the thing and with him in there, which is insane to think about, like, the setup that they probably had to have, like, that so he wouldn't fly. Because that thing was going, like, 35, 40 miles an hour when it hit the tractor trailer. And... like, enough that it moved the tractor trailer a bit. And
yeah, I mean, I think, like, most likely he's laying on the ground.
Yeah.
On the floor of the limo. And just bracing himself. That's fucking crazy. Like, these guys definitely have, like, serious permanent injury from their, like, day job. Like, what? That's just mind-boggling. Like, okay.
It's... so a lot of times they'll explain it as... like the repetitions of it, right? Just a normal match, right? Like what we watched was an extreme violence, right? They're falling on concrete, they're getting thrown into concrete, they're getting thrown in, they're going through glass, they're, you know, all these things. But like in a regular match, they're falling onto like softly, thinly padded wood 40 to 50 times in a match, so falling on their back. And then they're probably doing that 4 or 5 times a week where they're falling on their back 20 to 30 times. 52 weeks a year. Some of them for like 10 years, some of them for 20, some of them for like 5, and that's just like in the WWE. Like there are people who are like doing this shit for like a hot dog and a cold soda because they want to get to WWE or they want to be able to make money doing this. And it's like, I tried it and I said, nope, I'm not doing that. Like I ran the ropes hurt. I fell on my back. I didn't like it. I said, nope, you're not getting me. You can't pay me enough right out the gate to do this. Like I can see you doing it for like, you know, a couple million a year. I can understand that. I don't think I'm not doing it for $15, you know.
But for how long? Like,
and that's the other thing, like
length of time, like think of these like football players who just have the same fucking head trauma over and over and over for decades, and like come out of it like Aaron Rodgers, like his egg is fucking scrambled.
Yeah,
or like Herschel Walker, like
Jesus,
he's done. Like there's nothing left in there.
WWE is was the first place where the CTE studies started happening. So the guy who's heading it up, Chris Nowinski, went to Harvard, played football at Harvard, then went to WWE. And he was in WWE, got a concussion, and he's like, something's not right here, right? Like, it took a guy getting hit in the head, a guy who was academically eligible to go to Harvard and willingly choosing to wrestle to get a concussion and going, wait a second, something's not right here.
No more.
Something's not right here. I shouldn't be this light sensitive. I shouldn't forget things like this. So they start doing, like, and because you can't just brain scan, look at somebody's brain in real life, they have to get dead people's brains. Well, they couldn't like, you try telling somebody like, oh, hey, like, I think your loved ones, had this thing we think because of all the concussions, it messed with his head, which caused him to, take his life early or, do things or change mood swing, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, people are, like, writing it off like, dude, like, my loved one is dead. Leave me alone, which is a completely rational thought. And then when, like, so they're making slow progress. Occasionally they have a couple people, donating their brain when they die. And then Chris Benoit, former wrestler, former colleague of Chris Nowinski, beats his wife, or kills his wife, kills his son, takes his own life, all in span of a couple hours.
Jeez. And,
like, to the point where, like, it's not it's something that he planned on doing, because he Googled the quickest ways to kill himself. He wanted to know how quick he could kill, like, painless ways to kill somebody. All, like, his Google search history is ridiculous. And does all this, and Chris Benoit's family, like, this doesn't make sense. Like, he shouldn't have done any of, like, this is not a rational, like, he's never shown signs of being, like, this violent, which he had, but people ignored it. Like, he had beat his wife already several times. So it's like, okay, sure. Like, let's pretend that this is out of the norm, like, for somebody to beat their wife to also then go kill them and and themselves and a kid, and, like, a 6-year-old kid at that. So it's very sad. But Chris Nowinski reaches out to his, like, I think Chris Benoit's dad or uncle, because his dad and uncle's, like, very distraught, and he's like, hey, I think Chris had, like, I think Chris's brain, something was wrong with Chris's brain, and because I knew him, and I, blah blah blah, all the bullshit, like, somebody's like, who was friends with somebody who did something bad, like, I'm a friend, that wasn't the Chris I knew, or that wasn't the person I knew. So the Benoit family allow the researchers to basically scan his brain and look at it and everything, and, like, they take it out and they're like, this brain is deteriorated to a point where that shouldn't happen just because he's dead. This is weird. So they do some scans internally and everything, and he basically had the equivalent of, like, a 70-year-old Alzheimer's like, brain, and he was, like, 43, and, like, it starts, like, that's when, like, everybody's starting to, like, realize that it happened at the same time, like, the whole concussion thing in the NFL is going on, and we're learning more about the brain and how, like, concussions are actually your brain, like, like, short-circuiting and trying to restart. Like, that's not good. Like, you shouldn't keep smashing your head against things. But, like, a lot of wrestlers were like, holy crap, like, that's wild. And then some of them who were suffering from CTE, both wrestlers and football players, some of them would get such, like, wildly extreme mood swings to where, like, they become super depressive to the point where they take their own life, but they would do so in a manner that would not affect their brain. Like, Junior Seau is a very high-profile case of this, where he drove, 15 miles away from home, pulled over the side of the road, wrote out his note, and shot himself in the chest, and then in the note said, I shot myself in the chest so that people can look at my brain so that no one can ever go through this again. And it's so depressing that, like, that's the lengths that we had to go before somebody goes, hey, maybe we shouldn't be beating our heads against things. Like, WWE, it was until 2009 where they started, or maybe 2009, 2010, where they started outlawing unprotected headshots. And then, like, with the steel chairs, and then outlawing them completely. Like, even if you put your hands up, like, you can't do that. And sometimes wrestlers would do it and be like, I'll pay the fine, whatever. And it's like, man, like, it's not worth it. Like, who gives a fuck if you're willing to pay the fine for $25,000? Like, you're taking a fully swung steel chair at your head by another strong person. Like, your brain is not that strong, my guy. I mean, like, it's just wild. Like, you know, we talk about, like, Aaron Rodgers having, like, you know, and Herschel Walker and whatnot, like, being two high-profile cases, but, like, man, Kane feels like one. So,
well, yeah, all these guys.
Yeah, absolutely,
literally all of them. Like, there's no shot. I mean,
no.
If you're taking that much head trauma that consistently, like, you're gonna be a little out of sorts. At least.
I couldn't. I'd have to be full baby mode. Put me in padding. You can't throw me into any walls. Has to be grass. Or like a mattress.
Now, mattress at minimum. Maybe a styrofoam ball pit. You know,
yeah.
Like even
let's go to the playground. Come on, throw me there.
I'm too old. If I fall at work, I lay down because I'm like, I know the grass is soft, but man, that hurt. That still hurt. I was too old. Stay young forever, everybody that's listening. But like, I'm concerned. Like, I played high school football. I'm concerned that, like, I have, you know, I'll have CTE related issues as I get older and my brain is unable to basically hold up those parts that are there. Like, that's a concern of mine. And like, when people are like, oh, would you let your kid play football? I'm like, nope, absolutely not. Like, it's not worth it. Like, go play basketball, kid. You're gonna make...
my parents banned my brother from playing football. Like, absolutely.
The other thing, though, is I do understand it to a level because I do smoke weed, and I feel like at a certain level,
allegedly.
Yeah, there's like holes in my brain that are beginning to develop, and I don't know that I'm gonna stop because it's like, it's whatever.
No. Weed doesn't do that.
That's
you
not
can keep telling yourself that.
It's not the weed. It's all the
microplastics.
It's all the
definitely the microplastics.
It's the chemicals in your roll. Like,
I take a Lego and I do a cheese grater over my joint when I roll it.
What did they say? Like, consume like about like a credit card amount worth in like a certain period
per
of
year
time,
or whatever it is.
Man. Like, capitalism it's horrible for many reasons, but allowing people to just put whatever they want in their body.
The point is, though, that like, we're all poisoning ourselves slowly with whatever, and so like, who am I to say that you can't bash your head against a wall?
A rational person. That's who you are to say that. You're like, hey man, I wouldn't smash my head against that wall if I were you. Like, I have this weird thing. So, like, as a sports fan in general, I hate when players are like, I'm toughening it out. It's like, man, it ain't worth it. Like, it's not worth it because you got to get, when you're 55, you got to get a new hip. Because when you were 27, 28, you decided that you were going to play 3 months with no ACL so that your body adjusted so much that it literally fucked your hip, that the rotation of how your leg is. Like, it's not worth it.
Well, it seems like that's how a lot of this WWE stuff was, especially in the 90s, of like just like being tough enough to like take a fucking body slam into the concrete.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That's just like fine, and like you're good, you're tough enough that you can deal with it. And, like, but that's like some of the appeal too.
So, like, oh, absolutely. It's a person. Like, look, the first time I watched wrestling, it was Mankind versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, King of the Ring, 1998. It is infamous because it is the match where Undertaker threw Mankind off of the cage through a table. Then he got back. Then Mankind got back up, climbed the cage with the separated shoulder, got chokeslammed through the cage to the ring, and then proceeded to have another extra 15 minutes of a match which shout out Musi and Music Chick and Boom Da Ba. I was on their podcast, Something Unexpected, but I was also on their Patreon. Their exclusive episode is I watched that along with them, and I explained the match to them because it's not something you can understand where like a person falls 18 feet from a cell, and they have to hit, like, you know, you guys saw those announce tables. They had to hit a 6x4 spot, 18 feet down and a couple feet across, and then they decide to go up and continue the match, and then they get chokeslammed 12 feet to a very wooden and hard and stiff wrestling ring, and like continue to have a match after that with
no way.
Literally
no way.
Was this what like the Roman gladiator fights were? like everyone sort of knew they were bullshit and like fake, but there was still like real injury happening. But it was like an act, like it was theatrical.
It is, man, because it's like you can't fake, you can't make that, like, you know, you can't fake that. Like that's real, right? Where like wrestling is scripted and predetermined, but like you can't fake somebody falling on their back. You can't fake, you can't fake the way that Kane got hit with a fucking ambulance door. You know, you can't fake how like he went through a glass window. Sure, he may not got hit by the car, but he sure as fuck went through a glass pane.
Yeah.
You know, like there are things that like you can't like you Biomart. You noticing that he was getting thrown against actual concrete, and you're like, wait, that's actual concrete. Ow, what the like,
yeah,
the realization of like, wait a second, hold on, everything about this is clearly set up, but that's real, and that's the thing that wrestling often tries to go for, which is they want you to go, yeah, I know it's predetermined, I know it's set up, but that's real. Because if they can get
it's like fucking watching Mad Max, like seeing all the like car stunts and shit.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, that's like really impressive. They like actually pulled that off, but it's just with like devastating human injury,
death-defying and life-altering stunts.
It's not death-defying. It's death. It's
coming you closer to death.
I mean, they're
closer to death.
I mean, they're defying death by saying, no, I'm going to do this. How dare you? You know. Yeah, no, but like, I can't, like, I tried it. I wanted to be a wrestler when I was growing up. That was the one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to be a pro wrestler. The minute I saw Mankind get thrown off of a cell, I said, I want to do that. I want to throw somebody off of a cell. And like, who does it? Like, if you're like, hey, you can throw anybody off of a cell, you're like, yeah, let me go do that. I'm going to do that right now. Like, you know, you're just like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. And, you know, as I grow up, I learn more about pro wrestling and all that stuff. And then I'm like, man, dude, brain injuries are a fucking thing. Wow. Okay.
You probably saved like 20 years of your life because of that. Like added onto your lifespan.
And I turned 18. I had enough money saved up. I went to wrestling school for a week, and they do what they do. Like, sometimes it's a scam, but sometimes it's set up to where, like, all right, we're not going to overdo you. Like, right, it's not like day one you're going to learn how to wrestle a match. You're going to get we want to make sure you know what you're in for. So, which I knew, but even then I was still a little unprepared. So, like, day one, it's just like running the ropes. You run back and forth, and you learn how to, you know, bounce off the ropes. And it fucking hurts, man, because those are like cables. They're not.
Well, it's crazy intense cardio for like 40 minutes straight.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what they would literally. You had to do it for 20-minute spurts, run back and forth, and like you got a 10-minute break. So you're doing it for 40 minutes out of every hour, and we were there for 3 or 4 hours, and like people are vomiting. You know, you're trying to like I vomited. I was among the last to vomit, but I vomited, and. Like, because I'm like, all right, I know what I have to do. So I'm like, I'm getting my cardio up. Yeah. Nope. It still didn't. It did not matter. I'm like, okay, it's different. Whatever. You can get that. I can get my cardio up. Like, also, when am I going to have to run 40 minutes straight? You know, I might have to wrestle, but I'll have the ability to, you know, be conditioned and whatnot. And which is wrong because it's like you're not just running now. You're lifting people and falling and shit.
It's still a ton of physical activity.
Yeah,
so
no,
the second day, second day, a little bit of that, but with like longer breaks to talk about wrestling and everything. And like people start pulling out after the first day because they're like, I'm never doing that again.
That'd be me.
Yeah. So like by the third or fourth day, you know, your class of like 30 is now down to about 10. And that's when they're like, okay, here's what we're gonna do now. Warm ups. You're gonna do, and like they add other cardio things like rolls, right? So you get accustomed to like tucking your chin because you need to tuck your chin when you fall. All this stuff. And then at like the end of the week, they're like, all right, we're gonna start taking bumps. Flat back bump, which is basically you stand and then fall on your back. But you have to fall on your back, but also slap your arms out and like hit and attack the mat. Is the phrase, right? And so I did that, and they let you, because it's not natural to fall on your back, right? It's not, you don't want to fall on your back. It's an unnatural movement. My coaches were understanding of that and very, hey, you do it once, all right. How do you feel? Okay, I feel good. I'm all right. Like it hurts. It's gonna hurt. You don't have your calluses built up. And like, so then they go to the next person, and you're sitting there, and you're like, oh, what the fuck, my back, like you're like, fuck, all right. And then right before you're about to get up, you're like, okay, you're up to do it again. And then you see somebody do it. At least for me, I saw the person in front of me do it, and I'm like, fuck, the entire pain came back, like, because and then hey, okay, now you gotta do 2, and you end up doing 5, and then that's the end of the day, and they gave you time to get up, get set, so it wasn't like go. But they said Monday after warm up, it's go. If you're like, if you don't, like, this is your last chance to get your deposit, or get part of your deposit back. And I was like, give me my money back. give me the portion of my money.
I'm gonna suplex you and we're gonna throw you off the top.
I didn't stay because I did not want to see what it was going to do to my body. Like I was like in pain already before I left. So I'm like, hey, look, thanks for the opportunity. I don't think I'm cut out for this. And like the guy like looked at me. He goes, shame, because I was like, I'm 6'2". The next tallest person's like 5'9", and they're like, it's a shame because you're tall. And I'm like, yeah, okay, can I have my money? Like, and that was, I don't care. Like, you're not talking me out. Like, I'm not falling on my back anymore. I'm not doing it. But, I mean, I still love pro wrestling. I just don't want to be a pro wrestler. And I just think that's a rational thing. Because it
just makes it more impressive, I guess.
Yeah, like, it gives me an appreciation that, maybe I had but didn't fully understand. Like, it is insane to be like, I am going to fall on my back for 20 minutes a night. Get up. Get showered, get in a car with 2 to 3 other wrestlers, drive an hour and a half to 2 hours to the next town, get in my hotel after hours, wake up in the morning, barely sleep, wake up, get breakfast, and go. And like, it's a little bit better now because there's so many independent wrestling shows that you can work in the same like 35-minute, like you can go to your own home, ideally, when you're starting out. But then there's that point where you're like, okay, I'm going to go to Atlanta, and then I'm going to go to Jacksonville, and then I'm going to go to Miami in a weekend. So you can't drive those. I mean, you could, but it's going to be a fucking hell of a drive. Or you could just fly. But then, like, if you miss your flight, you miss your payday. Because they don't, like, the thing about pro wrestling, you said you get workers' comp. They don't get workers' comp, man. They don't get health. They don't get good health insurance.
Yeah,
I mean, I expected that
because they're technically independent contractors. Like, they're not disgusting. Employees. Yeah, John Oliver did a great, like, last week tonight on pro wrestling and whatnot, and he's very much of the same mind as it's incredible stuff to watch, but holy hell, is it horrible for the people doing it. And like, it sucks because it's like they, like, especially if they're in WWE, like, WWE has worded the contracts in such a way that you can't do anything because they own your likeness, because you license out your likeness to them for their character. and thus you can't go as yourself to do things without their permission, right? So, okay, you can't be Kane, right? As you can't go somewhere as Kane. That makes sense, right? But the guy who portrays Kane can't go get voice work. He can't get credited roles in something else as himself, because WWE owns his likeness, and therefore everything he does has to go through WWE. But also, it's not like
on the side over Shane McMahon.
Huh? You're on this.
It's like he was fighting back. He was trying to, retrieve his name. He was fighting for his name.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, it's not like you have time to go do things because you're wrestling 4 or 5 times a week. And if you don't go there, you don't get paid. You're within breach of contract, so you can't do things like they did a thing with Twitch streamers. They're like, oh, on my off days, I'll stream, and if I'm not on the road or if I'm hurt, I'll stream. And then WWE's like, wait a second, you're making money off of your likeness, and they're like, but it's like, I'm not saying I'm this person, and WWE's like, it doesn't matter. You're making money off of your likeness, which you license to us for our personal use, or for how we seem fit as a business. And like, what the fuck you and it got to a point where people were like, I'm willing to quit. I'm not doing this anymore. I'll go work the independents because I can make $40,000 a month on Twitch. And it's like,
hopefully.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, some of them were. Some of the female talents went and did this, and because they're high profile women, and add in Twitch's very large, desperate people, you had a very powerful concoction of people giving up money, subbing, donating, giving bits to these high profile just so that they had their attention for 5 seconds. And they were making, I think, she's Zelina Vega on WWE. I think she was making 30,000 in subs. She had that many subs. She had a ridiculous amount the first month. She had 200,000 subs. Just making insane.
Part of me wants to say you should just turn away from this, these bigger organizations to make it on your own or whatever.
Yeah.
But also that's advising someone to just buy lottery tickets.
Exactly.
So
she doesn't.
I think the better advice is hey, WWE wrestlers, maybe talk about
think about your options.
Oh man,
maybe unionize a little bit, just a little baby bit.
That they should, but it's they are very WWE. It was very successful at at making it so that Vince McMahon was very, very effective at union busting, to the point where former governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura, tried to unionize, and he had everybody on board, and he went to Hulk Hogan, and he said, Hulk, we need you, because you're the top guy. If you do this, we'll all be good. And Hulk Hogan, because he was brought up in wrestling, went to Vince McMahon, told him, and they fired Jesse the Body Ventura.
Jeez.
But because he's an independent contractor, he couldn't sue him for lawful. They couldn't sue him for wrongful termination or firing him because he's trying to unionize, because he's an independent contractor, and he could see fit to fire him let go of his contract how they see fit.
Man, at some point, just make it part of the fucking drama, have your wrestlers come out and union shit.
Oh my god! Wait, hold on. They did. Wait, they did.
Oh, they did.
They did because in 1998, 1999, Vince McMahon had his own, and Shane McMahon had their own faction called the Corporation. And then they took a whole bunch of just low level wrestlers, and they put them against them, and they were called the Union.
That's so bleak.
Yeah.
That's just so bleak.
Look, Vince McMahon, again, God fears Vince McMahon and the devil owes him rent. Vince McMahon took many things that affected outside the ring stuff and brought it in. When he beat the U.S. Congressional Court in federal court for distributing steroids, he then came out and like they made fun of it on the next like couple months of like programming. And then whenever like there's these outside things that are like people try to make fun of McMahon or something like that, he would then just turn it into a storyline because he could have control over it. He's a fucking weird dude. He's an absolutely weird dude on top of being just an evil dude.
Yeah, weird and evil is like the new best combination of traits.
I see. Like, here's the thing. I don't like Vince doesn't think he's like a rich guy. He thinks he's a regular dude. Like, you know how like Elon Musk claims to be a regular dude, but everybody knows he knows that he's not. Vince McMahon is delusional and thinks he's a regular dude. And it's absolutely mind-boggling. It's like, you are a billionaire. You own a company. You own a private jet. You are not a regular dude. You haven't been a regular dude since the day you started, the day you bought WWE.
He's just LARPing his core, and like that's fine. Like he can do that. Like that's for the bottom line, though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I guess.
You know, like he'll appeal more to the base.
The base, yes, the common man. Dorky, you had a question. Yeah, you know, oh my God, Jesus Christ, he might. He absolutely might. He's 77. He got nothing but time on his hand now. Oh boy, it's scary. Dorky, you had a question while we were watching pertaining to the arena.
I said, what do you think smells worse, the wrestling arena, like all those people, or an anime convention?
Do you have an answer, Bio?
I would say, well, it's wrestlers. Wrestling fans, I would say, shower more often, but also the amount of there's a lot more bright lights in that room, so there's sweating going on, and like physical exertion for sure, and a lot more alcohol, I would say. But an anime con, they're all up in them cosplays that are warm, so that kind of like ferments the scent. Ferments their stink a little bit. I don't know. I think it's a toss-up, honestly.
Probably depends on who's playing, you know, like who's the match.
Yeah. So wrestling fans are stinky. They're very stinky. The thing is, the overlap between stinky anime fans and stinky wrestling fans, it's damn near a circle. Like you'll have wrestling fans who aren't anime fans, like myself. I bathe. So I'm not a normal wrestling fan. Much like there are anime fans who bathe as well. But like the Venn diagram is like mostly a circle, like just one circle with like, little like ears. So like that's the thing. But like the reason I bring this up is I bring that up. You asking the question is funny because literally right before we started recording, about an hour or so ago, I saw a video from a wrestler talking about Vince McMahon retiring and whatnot. And I made comments about it. My friend commented on it. And then somebody commented on that having a anime avatar and said some
worst fucking Twitter users.
Worst Twitter user. The worst. And I said, you know what? You want to come into my mentions? I got notified that you said this. I don't care who you like I simply had said to them, that you can hide behind the anime Abby all you want, but that ain't hiding the fact that your body odor got you thrown out of line at TSA because the dogs were barking at you to bathe. Like, anime fans and wrestling fans fucking learn how to shower. And if you hear this and you get offended by it, there's one really quick way to do this. Bathe, right? Because people go out of their way to say, oh, Grum, you act like you're not like a wrestling fan because I can't smell you from here. Like, it's, you know, and I'm a big dude. I sweat. But you know what? I wear deodorant so that when I do sweat, you don't smell me. I brush my teeth. I wash my hair. I wash my legs. I wash my ass. Like, these are the things that, like, you don't, that'll stop you from smelling. But also, wrestling fans don't get out much, so they don't really think about, you know,
it's
bathing.
like even greater than that, Graham. Like, I've seen two different like things of white people like figuring out like showering and like taking care of their body. Like, one was about like this. They were on a podcast, and she was like, "How do you share? Why would you go around sharing a bar of soap?" And he was like that you put in your ass. I was like, what? And the dude responded with like, you lather it on your hands and rub it on your body. And she was like, what? So she was apparently like using the bar of soap straight on her body.
I use the bar right on my body. I'm not
You
afraid of it.
use the
I
bar.
do that.
That
Yes,
is not.
It makes me cleaner.
That is not. No.
No, it doesn't.
That is not.
Here, hold on.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Get an African body net. I swear that scrubs off like a layer of filth, and you will feel squeaky clean.
I already feel squeaky clean.
No, you don't. You have a level of grime on you.
I'm not grimy.
All lawyers are grimy.
That's true.
I enjoyed that as somebody who has been, at the very least, a washcloth user since I was, I don't know, old enough to bathe myself. I just sat there in awe, and every time discovering white people don't bathe properly or find out that they stink because they don't, you know, take care of their hygiene properly, I'm just in awe, because it's like, I have been sitting here and doing everything the right way, and people say I stink because I'm white, but I don't stink. But now I know why, is because all these stinky white people not realizing that they stink, that they think that that's how they're supposed to smell. It's like, no.
Who is approaching you and saying you're smelly because you're white?
What?
You stinky
Hold
white.
on.
You
Again,
smell.
for the 3 semesters I went to college at Temple University, which is located in North Philadelphia, and there are some very confident
okay, that's Philly. It's completely different.
Like, it's, again, hey man, you white boy, you stink. Okay, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not, I'm not equipped. I don't have the facilities for that, big man. I'm gonna keep walking, like, you know. And you know what? At that time, I may have forgot to put on deodorant, so I may have stunk. So I'm not gonna sit there and correct. Like, but the thing is like, there are full-fledged adults who have podcasting mics, who decide, much like the TikTokers, who tell us unhinged stories that no one asked for and unprompted, to sit here and continue to tell us that they don't bathe properly. They shower once every 2 weeks. They wash their ass once a month because they wipe their ass with baby wipes. Use soap.
There was a lady like saying like, I hadn't showered in like, I don't remember what time she did, but she hadn't showered in a while, and she was like embracing that, and she was like, or like embracing her human stink or some shit like that.
Because Cassidy.
It's like, why do we need to know this? You're through a screen. If you didn't say anything, no one would know. Okay.
Yeah. No, there was a dude. He's one of those like I am an alpha male. Like, I eat I eat raw meat and I'm fine type guys. And like, he's talking about how he doesn't brush his teeth, use soap when bathing, or
I mean, yeah, that's gay.
But he doesn't. No, he doesn't. It's It's the other way. It's that he doesn't do it because his diet is what it's supposed to, that his body doesn't have an odor that it's not supposed to have. And it's like, correct. Yes.
What are you cleaning your body so another man can smell you?
Like, in theory, this man is, if you eat right, if you eat a balanced and healthy diet, you will not have weird stinks. However,
that's true. I believe that.
It is true. However, you will still have an odor. Like, you will have an odor. Like, cavemen smell.
Pheromones. And that will be real stinky to some people.
Yeah.
You've ever seen a cave painting with stink lines? I think not.
Do you think they knew what a stink line was?
They probably just killed that person. You smell that.
We should go back to that! Let's get rid of TikTok.
Tradition.
Let's murder the stinky. It is so, like, I don't think neither of you have been to a TwitchCon. I don't think you've been able to. Okay, but you guys have, Dorky. I'm assuming you've been to an anime convention of some kind to know that it smells, or have heard horror stories.
No, I haven't. I've been to like beauty conventions, so
they probably smell fantastic. It was
great. I didn't smell.
It probably was like, oh man, it smells great. I love the fragrances.
Yeah, they weren't big either. They were like kind of smaller. So
that's good. That's good. What about you? Have you been to any conventions of any kind? There, Biomart.
I've been to a baseball card thing in Chicago, and that's a lot of old men. So a lot of old smell.
Card.
Yeah, it's an old smell.
A lot of old smell. Yeah.
But TwitchCon is one of the most the stinkiest gathering I've ever been to, and I've been to like a lot of wrestling shows. TwitchCon is stinky. It's stinky in the way that like you see the same couple people and you realize that they're the ones who stink.
No.
Like. I don't know how to explain it other than it's like, because your sense of smell is so tied to memory, right? Like they say that like this way, that's why you smell, like smell brings you back memories of like childhood and all that stuff. I smell this one time, I think it was what was San Jose? 2018. I'm walking in, and it was like the Friday. I'm walking in, looking around, and I smell this just horrifically pungent smell of a human, and I look and I see this person, and I'm like, oh my god, they stink. They are they need to I need them to put on deodorant. If you can afford to go to TwitchCon, like hygiene and whatnot is somewhat tied to life, how much money you have, and sometimes that's out of your control. But if you can afford to go goddamn TwitchCon, you can afford a goddamn stick of deodorant and fucking shampoo.
There's a baseline.
There's
a baseline that you just have to meet.
Like, come on, all right? So I see this person, right? And then my brain was like, wait a second, that's the stinky person. That's the stinky person. Holy shit, that's a stinky person. And I felt bad because they're probably a fantastic person. But if I ever see them again, they are the stinky person. And they could probably smell very nice. They're still going to be the stinky person until I'm convinced that they figured out how to bathe. Like, I don't understand how, after a pandemic's worth, we're having this whole discussion where people are like, yeah, no, like, I'm getting smallpox because I'm fucking breathing in shit water. Because I don't wash my hands if I don't touch the toilet seat. And it's like, what the fuck?
I can do a contactless pee.
Can you do that? Okay.
With your penis, you don't touch it?
No.
I can as well, but
it's very possible.
But you got to open the door, don't you? You got to open the door, don't you? To get into the bathroom.
Not my own damn house, I don't. I leave my door open.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair. But when you're out in public,
I just pee on the floor.
My pants.
I just pee my pants.
I don't go to the bathroom. I just refuse to.
What do lawyers do? Pee on themselves.
So I brought up that Kane is the current mayor of Knox County in Tennessee. If you had to guess.
Oh my god.
Oh, his party?
Yes.
Look at him.
Just look at him. Don't go looking it up, but just look at him. Know what you saw with him getting hit in the head. Take a guess.
Yeah, he's a bit okay. I feel like the easy answer is that he's a big Trump guy.
I think I'm gonna go reformed. I'm gonna go. He's a reformed, very
nice.
on the edge
nice
Democrat. Yeah.
He is libertarian.
Oh my God! Damn it.
He is libertarian. He is.
I should have. He was looking at that 12-year-old girl in the audience.
He is libertarian to the point where he's as many libertarians are. He's pretty conservative. Like he's like he's anti. The guy who's famous for wearing a mask was anti-mask.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
He also shits all over homeless people.
Okay.
Let's go.
You know,
Pretty much a requirement of the government.
Yeah. Obviously, he wasn't very loud, but he did say something about Roe v. Wade being overturned. You know, very, very, you know, very typical libertarian. He is regarded among his peers as one of the smartest guys in the locker room.
Okay.
Who are the
guys...
peers?
The guys who are getting concussed.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, like this, like
guys who all have brain trauma. Yeah.
they always there are several interviews that before he took office and ran for mayor of Knox County, where many guys were like, if any wrestler was going to be a president, it'd probably be Kane. It's either Kane or Jesse Ventura. Probably not Jesse Ventura because he's too far out there. But it's like, nah, Jesse Ventura's not out there. The dude just says what he thinks, but he also understands, like, he's an empathetic person, so he doesn't think like a shitty person. You know,
How small is that county?
Knox County. It's got Knoxville. It's got the state capital. He is like the mayor of the biggest county in Tennessee. It is as of the 2010 census, 432,000 people. Its county seat and its largest city is Knoxville. It's the third most populous, but it has Knoxville, which is the capital of Tennessee. So, like, it's an important county to be in.
And he he was like the only option. Like, I don't understand.
Well, he ran. I mean,
I love him. What are you talking about? I fucking love him.
I don't understand. Why do we keep putting celebrities in these positions? Like, stop.
Because we are dumb.
I saw men
people.
on TV. I'd vote for that guy.
I'd drink a beer with that guy. I'd have a beer with him. Like, that's what it comes down to. And it's like, I should say, that's how it used to. Now it seems we're going back to the days of, like, people listening to policy, but, like, the policies are like, let's burn books. And that's not.
No, policies are like, I want to hang Mike Pence and flame Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, wait, like, so you're centralist? No.
Yeah.
It's like,
I want women to have to register as service animals.
Yeah. She's just like, yeah. So it's like we're back to the idea of following voting for policy, but the policies are horrible, and we are going further and further down to the pits of hell, to where I'm pretty sure we've already passed where Dante is chilling. It's just a matter of when the levees are going to break, and we will be singing "Bye Bye Miss American Pie."
Yeehaw, baby! Ride this shit out until the end.
I get you.
My
right?
career is about to be made unconstitutional in the next year.
Yeah.
Next year when I come back, public defense will no longer be a constitutional
I was
right.
going to be like, I've decided to think back
pivot
about the
careers.
mechanical engineer career.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here to fix your car.
Started a workshop of sorts.
Hey, come over here. I seen this on the internet one time. My friend showed me this. Let's see if this works. And you just hooking up a testicle, somebody's testicles. Let me make sure, test out this battery. Make sure it's not dead. But yeah. So final thoughts as we depart here. We're running. We've been nice close to 2 hours here, a little bit over. Final thoughts, Biomart, on your time on the dork side tonight.
It's always a pleasure. Oh, it's always a good time. Yeah, I'm just worried for these people. Herschel Walker will be a very interesting person to watch over the next couple of years because his brain is like already gone, but he's still degenerating. And like, I think he's like come out as saying like he has multiple personalities.
Yeah,
Like he said that he like worked for the CIA and like he's off the fucking walls. So
yeah,
I mean, as these people age and as these people like become staples of public life, their mental illness and like freakishness becomes more and more apparent. And I just think it's fun to watch.
yeah, it's definitely interesting because like a lot of the like that was 2003, like that match.
Yeah.
So like that's 20 years ago. Like those guys were in like their adult primes, and they're only getting to their 50s now. Like wrestlers back in the day barely made it to 60, and the ones who could were so goddamn banged up that like they didn't go out in public much.
Yeah,
like
they were like fucking what's his name from Breaking Bad with the bell in the wheelchair.
Oh yeah, exactly. Tio, yeah. Yeah, they're just like, Roddy Piper before he passed away had like 6 hip surgeries, like, and two knee replacements. Like that's.
I feel for them. I wish them all the best, and I wish Herschel the best of luck on his campaign.
I hope he doesn't too much luck in his campaign. That's a scary thought process that man would have the ability to write laws. Which
what you mean? People
they're all 80.
Shouldn't be allowed to hold public office. What's wrong with you?
What I'm saying is he can't, just him. I'm not saying people. We need to separate. He's got. It's not that he's got mental health disorders and untreated things and things we probably can never treat until he had passed away, and we can actually have a look at his brain. But I'm
so excited for when they crack that bitch open. Oh my god, we're gonna learn so many secrets.
It's gonna be egg yolk, man. It is gonna be
It's gonna be mush.
That man played football in the 80s. That meant they were smacking each other. It's just not good.
That shit is soft boiled.
Not good. Cool. Dorky, what about you? Final thoughts as we exit the dork side of the ring.
We need more enemies to lovers in wrestling. Wasn't enough tension. There was a couple moments we touched each other's balls, but
there was some ball touching.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
There's a lot of kinky. We had handcuffs, ball touching, butt slapping. Little consensual.
They did a little.
They got in that limo together. Yeah, we don't know what they were doing in there.
They got in the ambulance. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a little 69ing going on before Kane dropped him on his skull.
Yeah, it's like when they fuck in The Sims, and it's just like under the covers. The lights pop out.
Dorky, I will try to I will go through the Rolodex that is my mind of pro wrestling to see if I can find a true enemies to lovers storyline. The one I'm thinking of isn't necessarily enemies to lover, but it is basically these two guys had like a $1 bet that they could score a date with one of like the women, and it went from like this, like they were both bad guys, so they were like, I'm a jerk, and like the one guy who did get the date like started to become a good guy, and people were like, yes, I love them as a couple, they're great. And then he's like, and then his old friend is like mad at them, so now it's like, the good guy and the girl versus the bad guy, but then the girl turns on the good guy and joins the bad guy, becoming his girlfriend. So like there's that kind of like enemies to lovers, but not necessarily what you're thinking about. There's been, like I said, there's been like enemies to tag team partners, lovers, probably not, and I don't know if we ever will get it, because if WWE keeps
I need my LGB WWE.
There are
WWLGB.
There are like wrestlers who are members of the LGBTQ, and
I need it as a plot point, or it's not enough.
They probably have it be like the gay agenda.
There in the year,
dude, Muhammad Hassan
no.
and have it do the rainbow flag.
In 2002, there was a gay tag team, and they were flamboyant, and it led to a wedding.
Oh, let's go.
I might. Wow, you're gonna be back on that. I just got to figure out how we're gonna talk about that without going like too far, because it is. They played. It's 2002, so it's 20 years ago, and it is every bit what you think a company capable of what we watched and what we've talked about has for understanding for gay men.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Also, at the very same time on the other show, they were doing hot lesbian action as a shtick.
Look, I mean, as representation goes for the time, like, that's not bad. As in, like,
they got
no
gay marriage, right?
They're not even present anywhere else.
Well,
other than Top Gun, I guess.
To spoil it a little bit, they weren't actually gay, and they come out and they're like,
my God,
we did it for the publicity and to help our careers.
Wow,
yeah.
That's crazy. That's like doing. Oh my God.
Yeah, in
Wow.
2002, like wild, not great stuff.
Yeah.
Like
they could definitely remix that now and have like the pronoun people come out.
Look,
like, were they thems?
There was the
we're doing it for attention though.
yeah, it's just like they definitely could do it, but they're corporate now, so like they would.
I don't know. They still could. I think they still could.
If they did anything now, it'd be the most horrifying thing.
Look, I don't trust. Like again, WWE is like a global company, so they're like, we can't be too progressive because we do take a $250 million from the Saudi Arabian government.
Yeah.
So
that's what it is. It's oh no, I already know what it would fucking be. They would go to the like women's wrestling, and they would have a trans woman.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. They'd have a trans person.
Line.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like you're cheating for clout. Like and then their manager would be the doctor who's like trying to trans children. God.
Okay.
I can make the extra problematic.
I got the plot right now.
What's wild is half of that's already happened.
Yeah.
In 2009, they had
they're 5 steps ahead.
In 2009, they had a Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal match, which was won by new debuting talent Santina Marella, who was the sister of Santino Marella. And it was clearly Santino Marella.
My God.
In a wig?
In a skirt and a wig and a lace arm thing. And they're like, you're not really a woman. And like, I'm Santino Marella.
They're so ahead of the game.
They're so ahead.
This is like a mainstream political issue now, and they were doing it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
2009, you said?
2009. Yep. Yeah, 2009. Yeah. Like I said, I've said this before. Wrestling has a way of being ahead of the times and behind the times. Because like in the 80s, there was a wrestler who went by the name of Adorable Adrian Adonis, who was flamboyant and very effeminate. He wore makeup. He wore pink. And he was perceived as a bad guy by the fans because he was effeminate. And like to the point where there were children in the crowd chanting homophobic slurs.
Jesus.
Then in the 1990s, 1996, 1995, 1996, they had Gold Dust, who was an androgynous character. You weren't quite sure what the deal was, but he was just different. He was very affectionate. He was very effeminate. He was obsessed with men. Very queer coded to the point where like he would like make out with people. And like under the guise of like
the crowd?
No, like he would like not like he would knock out an opponent and then resuscitate them with mouth to mouth, but would do it in such again. Wrestling has ways of being ahead of the time, but also being behind the time. Because then it was to the point where Glad stepped up and was like, "Yo, knock that the fuck off," because that is a piss poor representation. You don't understand anything. This character's doing an insane amount of harm to the point where at WrestleMania in 1996, in what should have been a match against, we talked about I covered this in episode 52. Roddy Piper was supposed to wrestle O.J. Simpson, and Goldust was supposed to wrestle Razor Ramon. Both of those plans got scrapped, so they put Roddy Piper versus Goldust, and the match ends when Roddy Piper strips Goldust down to his bra and panties.
Whoa!
Kisses him on the mouth, and then socks him in the mouth, and then
what the fuck?
Goldust runs away, and that's the match.
But the thing is, if this was produced today, there'd be a contingent of people who are like, it's free speech, damn it, like defending it like heavily.
It is, and
nothing has changed.
The undertones of the so it all, like the Roddy Piper OJ stuff, real quick. The whole idea was to enact justice for the American citizens.
So awesome.
Roddy Piper's like, Roddy Piper comes out like a month or so after the ruling, and he's like, "There's a lot going wrong with America," and like did all these things, and how he was back to right the wrongs in the WWF and right the wrongs in America, and they had basically got him like, they were like, "Hey, yeah, all right, we'll do, we'll get O.J. Simpson, and he'll get beat up for like 6 minutes by Roddy Piper, and everybody will be happy because it'll be justice is served."
They should do Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
I mean, wrestling fan, you're watching men rub up on each other. Like,
yeah.
So then it gets out that like WWE and O.J. Simpson are like coming to a deal on him wrestling at WrestleMania, and people pull Vince aside and like, "Vince, if you do that, you literally will kill your business." No sponsor.
That's not true at all.
Your sponsors were pulling.
That's such a lie.
And it's wild to think about, because now there's a market for canceled people doing things. It's called the UFC. It's called Jake Paul's boxing career.
Yes.
Like,
we need Donald Trump, Joe Biden. Go.
Go.
Enemies to lovers.
I used to call you Sleepy Joe, but now I just want to sleep with you, Joe. Let me get a little bit of that Trump love. Yeah. But yeah. I can't. Yeah, I'm not writing it. I'm not going to facilitate any more Joe Biden, Donald Trump fanfic.
I love my Brandon.
Once more, Dorky, the floor is yours to plug whatever you're working on or anything you would like to plug and bring awareness to and the such. The floor is yours.
I mean, I'm really inconsistent with everything, but pretty much TheDorkyOwl on Twitch and YouTube's now. Yes.
Oh, on the YouTubes now too. Interesting. Interessante. Okay, all right. TheDorkyOwl in there. What about you, Bio? Anything you would like to plug? Anything you would like to raise awareness for as well?
Yeah. Stop Cop City in Atlanta. They're trying to bulldoze like a fuck ton of historic Atlanta forest and build a Truman Show-esque city for cops to train in, which includes like a school and a fire department and like all this like training shit for cops to be in. And there's a group of people out there who've been like setting up tree houses and like stopping the construction equipment and doing a great job. You can find places to donate online wherever. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I am due for my donation. After you told me about that, I was like, ooh, let me add that to the list of places I give some money and help. Stop Cop City. ACAB, baby. ACAB. Mm-hmm. And that includes prosecutors. They're cops. They're cops. A smart man told me that includes prosecutors. So. Bio is the smart man.
A year ago.
On tape. Yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Love you. It was a blast. I don't know what I'm going to show either of you next time, but it might not involve people attempting to murder people multiple times.
It's going to be spicy, I know that much.
Thank you once more, Biomart, TheDorkyOwl, for coming on and just being an incredible pair of guests. Appreciate the love and support and friendship, most importantly. Thank you guys for listening, the audience listening. Appreciate it. Thank you. Next week's episode, it is recorded. That's always good news, right? It's recorded. It is myself. It is Bask. It is my Uncle Chet Ripley with the bad back talking about the Vince McMahon versus God angle. That's right. Vince McMahon has tempted God many times, and God ultimately has gotten the last laugh on Vince McMahon. However, it did not come without God having to lose an official match against Vince McMahon. In fact, it was Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon versus Shawn Michaels and God at Backlash 2006. That's the show episode we watch, that's the episode next week, episode 60. Appreciate all the love and support. Can't wait for that one. It's a good one. We end up talking about Breezewood, Pennsylvania for a decent amount of time. Also, Chet, my Uncle Chet with the bad back, gives a nice story about how karma can hit a boss or manager or somebody with authority over you in a work capacity in a swift and just way. So that's a fun one. It is just good times all around. Thank you guys. If you haven't already, I've said this a couple times. The reason why I keep saying this is we're on the YouTubes. We're on YouTube. Dork Side of the Ring on YouTube. I'm going to be putting full episodes on there. I'm going to be putting shorts, pieces of the episodes on there. It's just a matter of going through every episode and getting the clips and deciding if I want to put it to because I started this at the very beginning of this journey on the Dork Side of the Ring, where I would take clips and I put them on for socials and everything, and I fell behind because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be host, producer, guest wrangler. It's a lot for a one-man show, so I've done it in ways that that are easy for me to do, and very obtainable to do. And now I'm like, all right, cool. Like I figured out the formats for full episodes that are going to be on there. All that stuff. It'll be on the Dork Side of the Ring on YouTube, as well as like some future wrestling. I'm going to do some wrestling content there as well, like opinion stuff or commentary stuff or other stuff on there. So check that out. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at DorksideRing. Also follow me individually, the person, the creator, the voice you're hearing on Twitter and Instagram at IamGrum. I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty sure I'm dropping Instagram. I got hit with that update, and it's god awful. It's horrendous. It's not even good. It's not good. I hate it. I really do. It's god awful. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, the guy at the in his driveway hitting the deuces and then fading into the background. That's me with Instagram. But yes, I mean, in the meantime, go follow me there. Dorkside.tv, all the links you could handle, where to find us on your favorite podcasting platforms, because we are there. You can also find us at grum.tv. That is also where you get all the links. Support.grum.tv is the Patreon. Discord.grum.tv. That's the new link for the Discord for the community. You come by. We're going to be watching a whole lot of wrestling this month. Whole lot of wrestling. We're going to start watching up Lucha Underground on Sunday nights. We're going to be watching Clash at the Castle on, I think it's September 2nd. September 2nd, I believe. And then we're going to be watching All Out Labor Day weekend as well. I think that's Sunday. The very next day. So we're watching that. Some good wrestling ahead. Come through. Let's have ourselves a good time. I am Grum. Next week's episode 60. Myself, Bask, and my Uncle Chet with the bad back, talking about God and HBK teaming up against Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon at Backlash 2006. What a sentence to be said. What a concept to be seen. Can't wait. We're just continue to take wrestling less seriously every week, because wrestling is so much better when no one is taking it seriously. I am Grum. Thank you. I'll see you guys next week here on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast.